in context to space and food. Should human race, especially in India, now stop reproducing and start adopting children instead?
But to adopt,
And
somebody must be reproducing, right? You mean to say…
but there
You
are
mean to say
many,
robotic…
no, Sadhguru. I think there are many children in the street that need parents and home. So why don't we bring them to our home rather than reproducing by our own? Why don't we parent them? But in the process of doing so, are we losing the very essence of motherhood? And what is the meaning of motherhood according to Sadhguru? That is my question.
See, suppose your mother delivered you and did not show any sense of inclusion, she just left you there. Is it possible that she could become your worst enemy? Yes or no? Very much, isn't it?
Yes.
So your mother is your mother not because she biologically delivered you. Your mother is your mother because in various ways she showed you that she is holding you as a part of herself.
Yes.
Just biological delivery did not make her mother. Biologically, yes, because you are from the biology department. But in your experience, she is your mother only because of the level of inclusiveness that she has displayed in her life, isn't it? If she excluded you, she will become your worst enemy, isn't it?
Yes.
So for this inclusiveness, for you to include somebody, all it takes is willingness. Yes? All it takes is willingness, not biological capacity to get pregnant and deliver. All it takes is willingness. Right now, if you are willing, can you just look at these people and really see them as your own children? Possible? Possible or no? Maybe you have some issues with some of them, that's okay. I'm leaving those two people. She's just identifying, oh, but these two…
I'm trying to figure out whom do I know in the audience. I'm trying to
You
figure
don't
out
have
my
to know
friends.
anybody. You don't know anybody. But can you sit here like a mother to all of them? If you're willing. Because it's only a question of willingness, isn't it? So the problem is just this, for most people their willingness is coming in installments. I will accept you, but I can't stand this guy. I can't stand this guy, but I hate this person. Like this. Now he has to do many things to me for me to accept him slowly. But if you really look at it, the nature of human beings is such. Take the example of somebody who's closest to you in your life. Sincerely, don't tell me anything. Sincerely, you look into it and see how many layers of resistance you have for that person who is dearest to you in your life. Yes or no? Many layers of resistance. Because of that, we have become like this. Unless something falls out of my body, it is not mine. Even what comes out of your own body is not yours. Children will make you realize as you grow old. Enlightenment from the next generation. Because biology will bind you only to a certain point. Beyond that, there is human intelligence and emotion and consciousness. If there is no inclusiveness, you will not feel like one. You may be biologically connected, but you may hate each other intensely. Possible, isn't it? But people will fall back on biology because for them, only their blood is functioning, their brain is yet to function. For most human beings, their blood is functioning, genetics are there, stuff is there, but their brain is yet to function. As I told you, it's new, they've not learned how to use it. Generally, they're using it against themselves. They call this stress, they call this anxiety, they call this depression, misery, whatever. Essentially, your intelligence has turned against you, that's all, isn't it so? Hello? You can give it many names. When the psychiatry department comes, they will give you many labels. They've identified some 72 or 74 varieties of mental ailments now. So they'll give you one of those titles. But essentially, your intelligence is turned against you. So, can I tell you a joke? Okay. Because you
Sure.
said it's a very intense and serious question. The biggest problem with human life is, we have taken ourselves too seriously. This is the biggest problem. See, on this planet, you're just a pop-up. Have you seen those pop-ups on the computer screen? They come poop and poop. You are just that on this planet. In the life of this planet, you're just a pop-up for 2 seconds and out. Countless number of people who thought they were bigger and smarter than you have been here before you and me, isn't it? Where are they? All topsoil? Yes or no? This one also will become topsoil after some time, unless your friends choose to bury you real deep, fearing you may raise from the dead. You know, there have been such… This happened. There was a couple in Texas, United States. They were over 75 years of age. It was their life's dream to go to the Holy Land, Jerusalem. But you know, marriage, children growing up, university, marriage and grandchildren, da-da-da. Once you start one thing, it's a avalanche, you know. Many things will happen. Now they're over 75, now they got an opportunity, so they went to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a place where every cobblestone is bleeding with history. So they walked that street where Jesus is supposed to have walked, felt overwhelmed. Went to that place where Jesus is supposed to have walked upon the water. Like this, they went all over the place. Very excited. Unfortunately, the lady had a heart attack and she died. So the man was preparing to take the body back to Texas. But then the local people came. They said, "This is the Holy Land. This is the right place to die. Your wife has done the right thing. There is no point taking this body to Texas, and taking the body to Texas, the flight charges are $18,000 plus local charges out there for rituals and stuff. Here, because you have lost your wife and you come for America, just $20,000 will finish everything." The man looked at them and then he said, "No, I will take her back to Texas." Then they said, "Okay, it's all right, because you're from Texas, we'll give you a super discount. $12,000, let's do it. This is the place, you know, the Holy Land." The man thought about it and then he said, "No, I'm taking her back to Texas." Then they said, "See, you lost your wife of 45 years. You're not thinking straight. You're distressed. Don't do this. This is the place to die, you know, the right place. Because you're distressed, we'll give you super discount. We'll make it $8,000. Let's do it now, come on. The man thought about it and said, "No, I'm taking her back to Texas." They said, "Why? What's the point?" He said, "In Texas, dead stay dead." You're not getting it. So, our biological connections are important, I'm not saying no. But we have overly exaggerated this. This I'm calling as Dhritarashtra syndrome. You know, Dhritarashtra, at any cost my son, he's a bloody idiot, it doesn't matter, at any cost my son. Unfortunately, after 5,000–6,000 years, it's still going on. I get down in Chennai, if you get down at the Chennai airport, first neon sign advertisement is a fertility clinic. I say, my God, in India you need a fertility clinic? What you need is an infertility bomb. I am not propounding any kind of philosophy or ideology for you. See, in 1947, when we got our independence for this country, the average life expectancy of an average Indian was 28 years. 28. Since then, today, the average life expectancy is around 66 or 67, which is a phenomenal achievement for the nation. When we postpone our death, should we not postpone our birth? I'm not talking any philosophy, any ideology or any kind of religion. I'm talking simple arithmetic. You postponed your death, should you not postpone the birth? Hello? So right now, it is not that too much reproduction is happening. Yes, it's happened, but it is not that excessive reproduction has happened, it's not true, we've managed that. But people are beginning to live little longer, which is a wonderful thing. Yes? People are beginning to live longer. Everywhere you go, I was at the World Economic Forum, there were, at that time in 2008, there were 4 union ministers gloating to the foreign media, we are the youngest nation in the world, we are the youngest nation in the world, our demographic dividend is like this, like that. I thought, okay, once, twice you say it, it's all right, but they said it half a dozen times. Then I asked, what happened to the old people? They said, no, we are the youngest nation in the world. All right, but what happened to the old people? No, we don't have old people, we are the youngest nation. All right, but why? Because nobody got old, everybody died young. See, is it not unnatural that you don't have old people in a society? Is it not unnatural? Only young people are there means what? Nobody got old? It's a dangerous situation. Yes, well, now people are getting little older, wonderful. So now we must also graduate our reproduction a little bit, calibrate a little bit. In this culture, largely in the Indian subcontinent, at certain times of history, we had it like this, 70% of the population was in family ways of life. 30% was ascetic. They were taking sannyas or whatever, they're never getting into that aspect. Just this managed the population very well. Just this one thing, 30% never engaged in sexual activity or marriage or anything, they did not produce children. So the remaining 70%, even if they had 5 children, by the time the child becomes 15, normally nature made it into 2 or 3, always. And periodically there were wars and people died more easily in the past because there was no such medical thing. Those who were not fit to live, they died. Today we have many things, it's all great that we've done certain things for the human well-being. But we must also understand the land that we live upon also has a life. It's a life by itself. You can't just be occupying every square inch of it and thinking, we are doing something fantastic. You're stupid. Because today there are some studies which say, if all the insects on the planet die today, let's say all insects died today, in about 4.5 to 6 years' time, all life on the planet will disappear simply because there are no insects. Except deep down in the earth, there are certain microbes which may survive. If all the worms die today, in 18 to 24 months, all life on this planet will disappear, including you and me. If all the microbes disappear right now, all of us will be dead within 1.5 hours. But if all of us disappear, planet will flourish. Yes or no? So one wrong perception that's happened, religions have spread these messages saying that we were made in the image of God. So all other creatures are here to serve us. No, please just go and look at the movement of ants. An ant doesn't think he's there to serve you, he's got a life of his own. Yes or no? You interfere with that, he will do what he has to do to you, isn't it? Does he think he's there to serve the human being because you went there, all of them put up their front legs and did this to you? Huh? He's got a complete life of his own. His life is important for him, isn't it? So these ideas that the planet and all the life was made to serve humanity, this is a very wrong idea. First of all, this idea that the creation is human-centric is the most dumbest idea we have on the planet. This creation was not made for human beings. We are just one consequence of the creation. On this, the biggest problem right now humanity has, why we are doing what we are doing, whether it's reproduction or construction or whatever else we are doing, why we are like this is, see, in this cosmos, nobody knows where it begins, where it ends. In this cosmos, this solar system, this sun and these few planets, 12, 14 planets, it is a tiny speck. Tomorrow morning, if this speck of a solar system just evaporates, nobody will notice it, it's that small. In this tiny speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Shillong is a super microspeck. In that, you are a big man. This is not a small problem. This is not a small problem, this is a very big problem. So everybody wants to leave their footprint. Reproduction largely is a footprint. People want to leave a footprint. I'm not saying nobody should have children, nobody should have children. But once you become human, the difference between us and other creatures is, whatever they do, we also do. They eat, we eat, they sleep, we sleep, they reproduce, we reproduce, they die, we die, all right? We're doing the same things. But the significance of being human is, we can do it consciously. Reproduction also must happen consciously, isn't it? Hello?